a lot of women come in with these blocks and they want to become more orgasmic, and then they get that, but then they notice that by expanding their pleasure, other things start to open up for them. Being more confident, being able to set better boundaries is something that comes up a lot. I get a lot of women who are artists or entrepreneurs that want to hone in and use that energy to fuel their businesses or fuel their creativity.
All right, guys, I don't mean to get too personal with you, but that's my jam. When I come across a product or something that I believe in, that I fall in love with, I have to share it with you guys. So that is why I am interrupting this episode today to tell you about Awkward Essentials, which is a company that created the drip stick, aka a cum sponge. Yes. Okay, so hear me out. When we decided that we were going to be a child-free family and Danny went to get his vasectomy, that allowed us new opportunities to have some more fun in the bedroom, and specifically fun around finishing and what that would look like for him. So afterwards, when this would happen, I would be walking around and it would just be like gooey. I feel like I just left the gynecologist's office, like dripping. And no matter how much I wiped, how much I peed, it still just felt ugh to me. All right. Then my friend told me about the drip stick, and I have been using these for over a year now. I'm obsessed. So this is the original after sex sponge, and it is specifically for absorbing excess cum. It is super soft. It's a medical grade sponge, and it quickly soaks up. Like literally, I insert it, I spin it around a couple times, I take it out, I throw it away, boom, I'm done, and then no more drippy drip throughout the day. It is seriously, it is so good. Now, I realize this is not for everybody, but for those of you that this is for you, I highly recommend going to awkwardessentials.com. You can find the link in the show here, and using code Rachel 91347. That's Rachel 91347. Use this code at checkout and it's going to save you 10% on your purchase. Of course, DM me if you have any questions. I recommend getting the 20 pack or the 100 pack if you really, really like to have sex a lot. And you can also get a little trial size where they send you just a few to try out. They're super affordable too. So go check these out. Again, code is Rachel91347, awkwardessentials.com. I'm Rachel, and you're listening to the Owning Your Sexual Self podcast. All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back for another episode of the Owning Your Sexual Self podcast. I have Cherae on the show with me today, which I'm really excited. We've already been chatting offline here a little bit, and I'm very, very interested. I've already said breathwork is the next thing on my list. So to be able to merge breathwork with pleasure and sexuality is like, that is the best of both worlds for me. So I'm really excited, but let me tell you a little bit about her before we get into this. So Cherae is a distinguished somatic pleasure and power coach dedicated to transformative wellness for women, integrating trauma release exercises, breath work, sexual kung fu, which sounds really cool, and the potent jade egg practices. And she gives women the tools to rejuvenate their body and embrace their fullest vitality. Beyond her one-on-one coaching, Cherae also hosts enriching yoga, breathwork, and somatic pleasure events. And those who collaborate with her witness a profound transformation and transition from burnout to unbridled bliss, benefiting from heightened emotional strength, amplified sexual fulfillment, and a renewed inner connection. This is everything. As soon as I saw this email come through for you to be a guest on the show, I think my response was, I'm already a yes. Like, give me all of this. This for me is like, yeah, it's like, it's connecting spirituality and sexuality. So Cherae, without further ado, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here and talk to you about the connection between spirituality and sexuality.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always, I just always find it such an enlightening conversation. And for people that, sex can be such a taboo thing. And so I think when you deliver it in this sort of light and in this sort of lens, people, tons of women out there, it would be nothing for them to go to a yoga practice, right? And that just seems so natural. But then when you can, as you said, like bring in the pleasure component to yoga and then bring in the pleasure component and release with the breath, there's so much power behind that. And that's one of the pieces, as we were chatting, like a lot of people miss on.
Yeah, it's there's so much messaging that keeps women from locking into their pleasure or tuning into it, and that's done by design. But I love that we're in a place now where so many of us are talking about this, and we're ready to like bring the sexuality out of the darkness and into the light, and allow it to be healing, and allow it to be nourishing, and allow it to bring us closer to the divine or God or whatever, whatever it is that you call it.
Mm.
I'm so excited that we're in that place now in time, and that I could be a part of that revolution.
Mm, yeah. So how did you, it sounds like you got started in this within yoga, if I'm not mistaken, but tell me, yeah, I always like to just hear people that are in, the sex coaching industry, like how you came about to do this work even.
Sure. Maybe when I was about 19, so this is um like 18 years ago, I first started practicing yoga, but at the time, I was so curious and was introduced to so many different practices at the same time. So I was experimenting with plant-based and veganism, and at the same time learning about yoga, learned about the jade egg, and read about sexual transmutation in Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Um, However, there's no practical implication in that book about how to transmute your sexual energy. But hearing about it was like open the third eye, and I'm like, I have to figure out what this is. And so around the same time, learned about the jade egg, which is the component of the Taoist sexual kung fu practices, and at the same time practicing yoga. And what I didn't know about tantra, that came later, but that laid the foundation. Me having this yoga practice, and going to belly dance classes and jade egg workshops, and other breath work and energy, Reiki, all of that happened around the same time. So that's what introduced me to this work, and sort of went down another path, and stuck with my own personal practice, but was like, no, I want to dive even deeper into this, and stacked on training after training. And you just talked about, we talked about before we got on the call that you wanted to do a breathwork training, and it's like that's sort of what happened. Like, I want to do that training and this one, and yeah, bring it all together. And that's how I got into this work.
Yeah, I always say I'm in my sponge phase. I'm in the phase, and that was like me all of last year, just like training, retreat, like program, like all of the things, investing in all the things. This year, I feel like I've kind of scaled back. I'm like waiting for the transformation, or yeah, waiting to receive, surrendering to the transformation happening, and like implementing what I learned all of last year. And then yeah, I'm hoping 2024 will be breath work. I've led breath work. I do breath work myself, but to have, and I have done that just solely by doing my own self practices and then kind of reteaching how it's been introduced to me. So to be able to go through like, a real in-depth, and I would love to do something like that in person training around this. That's because, as we were saying, like breath is so powerful. It's, and I have this conversation all the time with my clients. They're like, oh, I need to stay busy. I need to go. That's what I need to do. I need to keep myself distracted. I'm like, no, 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 no. You need to slow down. You need to rest. You need to silence. Like that's where
Yeah,
the true growth comes.
absolutely. Absolutely. It's we can't live without the breath, and the practice of manipulating it to heal and to slow down and to go on vision quest. There's so many different things that come with manipulating the breath, and tuning into it. I absolutely love breath work, and it's a part of like my daily life now. I can't. I mean, we breathe no matter what, so you might as well take 5, 10 minutes and hone in on it.
Yeah, that's a great point. We're breathing every day. It's like if you can if you can take that pause and you can just do that intentional breath. And then with the intentional breath, like of slowing down, but then also bringing in the intention of, I'm going to assume, and I'll let you speak to this, like, what is it that you help people bring in intentionally? But it sounds like a lot of healing, a lot of growth, a lot of transformation, rediscovery, reclamation in so many ways. So yeah, I'd love to like share with us a little bit about like what would a breathwork experience look like in these events and stuff that you host.
Yes. So in an event versus one-on-one, in an event, we would be there laying down, and I would guide a breathwork process. I love circular breathing. Um, my favorite breath work is in and out of the mouth, and it's a little counterintuitive in the yoga world because we're so focused on breathing through the nose. But when you drop the jaw and you breathe through your mouth, a connected breath without any pause in between, what happens is as you relax your jaw, you completely relax your pelvis and your pelvic floor. And what this leads to is this opening throughout your central channel, and it takes your thinking, judgmental, conscious brain begins to quiet, and then you're able to get deeper into your nervous system and have these more transformative experiences. So I like to do that and combine it with really focusing in on sensation and that in a group setting. And there will be other prompts depending on if it's focused on heart and self-love and grief, or if it's womb focused. But when I'm working one-on-one with a client, it, we go even deeper and get even granular. I lead ancestral rituals using the breath, jade egg rituals. There's a process that I do called a womb purge ritual that combines the jade egg, um, some other sexual kung fu energy work, as well as breath to help release these energies that can be lodged at the womb. And so when working with the breath individually, you can really get into, okay, this more like integrating past experiences, integrating trauma on that level, versus with the group, it's more relaxing, more just tuning into the body, but the deepest transformative work happens one-on-one.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say the same. Um, and I'm just curious, like who is your clientele? Like who are the people that are finding their way, and what sort of things are they like seeking to heal from when they're seeing you?
Yes, that's a wonderful question. I get a lot of women who experience pelvic pain or numbness in the vagina. They want to experience more pleasure, want to become more orgasmic, but there's tension, there are these blocks. And I always say, like, yeah, the issues, what's happening in the tissues, right, are reflective of our own issues. And what happens is in these sessions, so many things come up. Inner child things and ancestral things can come up, and lineage things and previous traumas, of course, things that you don't consciously think about, but when you get into this deeper state of breath and having someone hold space, these sorts of things come up. So a lot of women come in with these blocks, and they want to become more orgasmic, and then they get that, but then they notice that by getting by expanding their pleasure, other things start to open up for them. Being more confident, being able to set better boundaries is something that comes up a lot. Um, and probably because this has been part of my journey with it, there's using my sexual energy to expand my creativity. I get a lot of women who are artists or entrepreneurs that want to hone in and use that energy to fuel their businesses or fuel their creativity, writing, their music, whatever it is. So that's something that comes up often too.
Yes. All the things, everything you said, I'm like, sign me up. Like, how can I'm flying to Maryland. I'm coming.
We can meet online. You don't even have to be here.
That's so good. Yes, I'm sure so many people that are listening are thinking the same. Like, yeah, I'm just this is such an amazing component to the work that I do. With clients, I lead some somatic exercises, but this is just, I mean, this is just a whole nother level, a whole nother layer of depth. Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned the jade egg. Is that so? When you say that is that like a jade? Is it a yoni egg that you're speaking to? And this you gift this to
Yes.
them, and then you lead them through a practice with it.
Yes. Yes, I'll either gift it or I'll send them a link to where they can also purchase it. And yes, it's a yoni egg. It's the stone made of jade. And because I'm a traditionalist, I only use I only use jade. That's how it was taught in um, my lineage of sexual Taoist practices. Jade is like the preferred stone. There rose quartz and obsidian have also been approved in the
Mm-hmm.
lineage. Anything outside of that, I'm a little sketchy about because
Mm.
sometimes these stones leach. I mean, excuse me, they leak heavy metals, and but the safest stones have been jade, rose quartz, and
Mm.
obsidian. So I'm a bit of and clear quartz is also
Okay.
acceptable. But I'm such a traditionalist. I'm jade.
Yeah.
Only jade over here.
Yeah, and jade is such a beautiful stone. I don't have any sexual crystals that are jade. I have, yeah, rose quartz. I did have a orange adventuring wand, but it just broke on my way back home from my retreat. I was so sad. But my both of my eggs, I have an obsidian one, which is when I'm doing like my shadow work, and then my
Yes.
quartz when I'm just like doing some creativity, like spiritual shit, like some motivational breath work or meditation, whatever it is. Connect me to the higher power. I'm done crying now. Yeah.
That was perfect. No, that obsidian is I've I've worked with obsidian long ago, but it is a very potent stone when it comes to doing shadow work, and it does pull out some heavy. I've
Hmm.
always like that's a little bit more advanced. So when I first started working with clients, I'm just like rose quartz and jade egg are the most gentle. Obsidian is yeah, that's the
Hmm.
shadow
Yeah. Yeah. You're
work.
probably pulling some traumas and stuff there for sure. Yeah. So, and okay. And then you mentioned another thing, the sexual kung fu. Tell me, I'm very curious. Like, what is that a term that is used? Is that a term that you coined? Yeah, tell me all the things.
It's a term that is used. I did not coin it. I'm going on a limb and saying that Mantak Chia coined it. He's the godfather of bringing these Taoist sexual practices from the West to the East. And that was part of my motivation to going to Thailand too, because his compound is in Chiang Mai, but I haven't been able to get there yet, but I will.
Mhm.
But the word kung fu means discipline, and so the the idea in the Taoist practices is that sexual energy is life force energy. It it's the energy that created us. It's what we came from. It is our baseline. It is, is essentially like our nervous system. It's everything. And by honing into it and using your breath and visualization and movement, you can take this energy, circulate it throughout your body to heal different organs, to heal different and to heal your endocrine system, and to also use it to magnetize opportunities to help you become more creative and connect you with the divine.
Hmm.
So I didn't coin the term, but um, it's it is a little cool term. But there's also ovarian kung fu, which is another practice. Is a
Mhm.
one of that's if I don't do anything during the month, I'm like, I do breath work and I do ovarian kung fu. And that's the practice in Taoism, in the Taoist practices. The ovaries are the holder of the yang energy, this fiery energy. And by using ovarian kung fu, it's to take this ovarian energy um, and circulate it throughout your body, which helps to take stagnant energy out of the womb and make it more useful. what happens is when we have this stagnant energy in the womb, and the ovaries are just holding on to this fire energy, and we're not, if you're not using this energy to make a baby, it can lead to heavier periods, fibroids, endometriosis, um, cramping, PMS, all of the some of the womb issues. And so by using this practice, it helps to alleviate some of those symptoms. That's been my most consistent. When I found out about this years ago, that's been the most consistent part of my sexual kung fu practice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ugh, I'm literally eating up every word that you say. I'm like, can we just stop? Because I have so many like business questions for you. I want to come to Thailand. I need to meet you. We need to, I need you in my life. This was divine intervention of 100%. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, okay. So you are, I mean, you are a spiritual being. Like you eat, you breathe, you live this stuff, which is amazing. And as again, I mentioned Thailand. I think we were actually offline when we said that, but you're headed to Thailand. So that's when, I mean, already I just have such an appreciation for you because you're living, Thailand is said to be one of the most spiritual places in the world, right? And I think that that's incredible that you're actually living it. You're in the what do they call it? Oh my gosh, what is it? I was gonna say in the swamp, but no, you're in the trenches. You're in the trenches, like actually learning and getting this hands-on experience, which I mean,
Yeah.
what a gift for your clients to be able to experience that and to be able to learn from you.
Yes, yeah. It's Thailand is such a beautiful country, and everywhere you go, you see these beautiful temples. The practicing of Buddhism is very prevalent, and they walk it, they live it. Like I've, it's just being there. I'm like, sometimes when I'm here, I'm like in America, I'm like, oh my God, everyone's so tense and angry and on edge, and there it's a different experience, different lifestyle. I feel a lot safer. I can go into a store and like the clerk isn't looking at me like, why are you here? You can get that, you get these vibes here. But um, I love Thailand. I've gotten to visit so many of the temples and been able to meditate at the temples, and everywhere you go, you can see the some of the shrines, some of their ancestor temples are all throughout the businesses and at the corner of a street. The spirituality is very respected
Mhm.
there, and celebration and holidays and is huge. I remember when I first arrived, I was like, there's another holiday. There's always a celebration. There's always, I feel like we celebrated the new year for like 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that that speaks such volumes to people, and I that's one of my favorite parts about going and visiting different places is to experience the different cultures. And I agree. I think that the us people here in the US, like we do have a lot of anger, and that's why I think again this practice, like for more and more people to get into their meditative spaces, their breathwork spaces, go to women's circles, go to a cacao ceremony, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Get some crystals. I love that meme. It's like they're the little stick figures like poking at the crystals, like, come on, heal me, heal me. It's like
Seen that one.
it's so much deeper than that. And to be held with by somebody like yourself, and for somebody to be holding space for you as you go through these experiences, I think that is really I love my self practices, but when I'm in an experience with somebody else, when I'm being led by somebody else,
Yes,
ooh, like it is, and then to feel permission from them to go there,
yes,
right? Where it's
yes,
sometimes it's hard for me to give myself permission to go there if I'm just doing individual work. Um, but yeah, I think this is such a gift for people to be able to experience. And if you've never tried something like that, right? Like try it at least once.
yes, yes, yeah.
Mm.
I agree. And I'm actually of the mind, like try things 3 times, because sometimes that first time is a little like, it's the introduction. It can be awkward. It might not be. It may be wonderful, but
Mhm.
that third time is where the magic starts to
Mhm.
unfold and you get really settled into, and you're like, okay, this is where this is. I feel it happening. I feel
Yeah.
I feel some shifts, but I what we do is just so important because there is so much like a separation between mind and body, and a lot of us are just like living in our heads, which causes this tension, this day-to-day tension. And helping someone connect to their sexuality is to bring them back home,
Mm-hmm.
and to be brought back home where the heart is that's when we get to live from a more compassionate place, a more kind place, a more relaxed and at ease place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm wondering if you're feeling up to it, if you could give us like a little taste, like a little demo, nothing too heavy, I hope, but if you're feeling open to that, just so people listening, again, when you talk through breath work, it's so hard to explain. And my podcast that just came out is around we recorded it at the women's retreat that I held. And even the women there, it's like it's so hard to put into words this experience, and like to be able to put into words like what happens during a breath work intervention, I guess you will, or exercise. It's so much more than just breathing, right? It's like it's
It
the
is.
intentional breathing. You choose certain breaths for certain things.
Yes.
It's the vibrations, it's the beat of it, it's the words that you're being guided through it. I mean, just yeah. So I'd love to be able to give like a little taste to the people that are listening or watching.
Okay. That sounds perfect. So what I would love to guide you through is a open mouth circular breath work. And I just want you to focus on sensation, what's going on in your body, and without any judgment, without even trying to change it, just acknowledging what's available, what's there. And for this particular breath, you'll breathe in and out of your mouth. So you'll drop your jaw. You should be able to fit about 2 fingers in between your top and bottom teeth. So the jaw's dropped. And as you breathe, you're inhaling through the mouth, exhaling through the mouth. There's no break in between. And for the purpose of this practice, we'll go slow and steady rather than speeding it up. Going faster can be a little bit more advanced, but this is a very soothing and nourishing breath. And
Mhm.
as you breathe, I'll prompt from time to time to just what are you noticing in your body, and what what you'll do is just if you're feeling tingly in your shoulders, you can just say that in your mind, like I'm feeling tingly in my shoulders. If you feel absolutely nothing or if you feel numb, that's okay. Say that in your mind as well, like I'm feeling numb, because what happens over time is it builds that it's still building that mind body connection, that your mind is actually acknowledging what's going on in your body. So even if you are feeling numbness, what happens over time is your body feels safe, like okay, you're acknowledging me now, we can register some sensation.
Mhm.
And yeah, so we'll start there.
Yeah. Yeah. Would it be helpful if I turned on some meditation music in the background?
Sure. Yeah, that
Okay.
works.
And just I want to give invitation for anybody that is listening right now. If you're not driving and you're wanting to go through this, I'm assuming that would be available to them if as you're leading us through this.
Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah.
And
And
that's
I
right.
will,
And
yeah, I'll be doing it. I'm going to mute myself though, so that you don't hear me breathing because I don't want it to be like a nuisance for you. But, and then, yeah, so is it better or are you going to need me to respond verbally out loud?
no, not right now. And just look, a bit of a caveat. If you are pregnant or if you have epilepsy, breathe through your nose. Do not do the open mouth breathing. You may feel some tingly sensation in your fingers. That is okay. You can continue to breathe through it. It'll go away. If it's super uncomfortable, you can return the breath back to your nose and then come back into the open mouth breath. But that tingly sensation or any cramping sensation in your fingertips is called tetany. It's safe, but this is just your body coming offline. Your brain, the first, like I was saying, the judgmental prefrontal cortex is coming offline, and you're getting deeper into your nervous system. So that's a possibility, but you can breathe through that. And feel free to add any nourishing touch to this. So if it's just rubbing your hands together or caressing your arms, maybe bringing your one hand to your heart, one to your belly, or one to your womb, whatever feels safe. If you're whatever feels safe and feels nourishing to you, you can lay down or you can sit up for this. Okay, so we'll begin and invite you to close your eyes. Allow your body to settle in. And before we begin the open mouth breath, breathing in through your nose, exhaling through your nose, allowing your body to connect with whatever surface you're sitting or laying on. Feeling yourself rooted and supported by your surface. Perhaps taking a mental note of the things around you that keep you safe right now, whether being indoors, maybe having a lock on the door, maybe just knowing that you're loved, that you're accepted, that you're protected. You can drop your jaw and begin this breath in and out of the mouth, connected. And it'll sound something like this. As you're breathing, notice any pockets of tension in your body, maybe starting at the base of your head, your neck, dropping your awareness into your shoulders, to your chest, allowing whatever tension you find to sort of melt away, allowing your body to settle and feel rooted. And as you breathe, notice what sensations are available in your heart, in your chest, in your breast. Whatever is available to you, just acknowledging it in your mind. No attempt of trying to change it, trying to transform it, just acknowledging what's there, what's present for you in the moment. Breathing in to those sensations or lack of sensation, whatever is available. Maybe bringing your awareness now to your belly, to your solar plexus, acknowledging what's there, what's available. Maybe you feel tingling or a buzz, throbbing, shimmering tension, saying in your mind, I feel X in my belly, in my solar plexus. And drop your awareness into your pelvic floor, into your whole pelvic bowl, to your womb or the energy of your womb, to your yoni, your hips, perineum, entire pelvic bowl, acknowledging what's there, giving voice to sensation, giving voice to the numbness. And slowly coming back to breathing in and out of your nose. Taking a moment to thank your body for being here, for being present. Thanking all of the sensations that were present. Maybe thanking the numbness that was present. Giving yourself so much gratitude because you are here. You can feel, and your body holds so many mysteries, so much love, so many stories, wisdom, and guidance. Giving yourself gratitude for taking this moment to breathe into your precious body. I invite you to visualize roots growing from your tailbone all the way to the center of the earth, symbolizing that you are supported, that you are connected. And visualize bright light streaming from the stars, from the planets, from up above, from the divine into your crown chakra, into the center of your head, right at the crown, symbolizing that you are also a divine spiritual being, and you are connected to God, to the divine. And bringing back your body, coming back online. You can rub your fingers together or maybe your hands, feeling your own touch. You can caress any part of your body, maybe face, your neck, shoulders. Noticing how your touch feels to you at this moment. And when you're ready, slowly blink your eyes open. Maybe look around the room just to acknowledge that you're here, noticing what's around you, integrating yourself back into sense of sight. And that completes our mini breathwork session.
Didn't want it to end. It's so good. So nice.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. That was incredible. I'll make sure I put in the notes like what time we started that at so people can go back to this episode and listen to it over and over again because that was I'm glad that you mentioned the technique because that's pretty common for me. And I started to get it a little bit in my face and my jaw in this session, but yeah, and it's so interesting because as you said, this was like a slower breath. I've done sessions previously where it was in and out through the mouth, but it was very quick and like activating, and so it's like you go there pretty quickly.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
yeah, and I remember my first few breathwork sessions, that used to freak me out. I'm like, what is happening? Like, you get like the claw hand, or I get like the claw hand. I'm like, what am I paralyzed? Like, what is going on? So I'm glad that you mentioned that. And I want to ask your feedback on this. I had been told that if technique comes up, that it can mean that there is some sort of block, like a spiritual block or something that you're kind of holding back that you're not surrendering to. Do you
Mm-hmm.
do you agree with that? What's your take on that?
I do believe that it can be, it can, but I try my best to just allow the body to tell us rather than, thinking about it like, could this be? If if I were in a one-on-one session, I would do some inquiry into the sensation that is coming up. So if there's like tension or the claw hands, like I would dive a little bit deeper to prompt you to see what comes out. Your body knows,
Mm-hmm.
but I wouldn't automatically attribute it to a block without that inquiry. And I wouldn't make it mean anything because with this type of work, quite often what happens is you can go through a cycle of releasing and you release something that you didn't even know was there. You don't have to consciously think about it. That overthinking it and thinking about it is where I feel like we get lost sometimes. So yes, it could, but also just breathe through it
Yeah.
and allow it to resolve. And if you have to go through the stress response, and if you feel like that stress response is freeze, like we can dive into that deeper. Or if
Mhm.
there's a part of the stress response and you're like, I need to run around or I need to kick or punch something, that's allowed too.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's difficult to do in a group setting. Someone may not feel as comfortable in a group setting to have that experience. And so it's kind of just like, I'm stuck with the technique and I gotta breathe through it. And then but one on one, it's like, no, if you need to punch something, punch something. You need to
Mhm.
scream,
Yeah.
scream. If you yeah.
Yeah, I love when I've been in group sessions doing this before and then one person screams and then it's like the invitation for everyone else that's wanting to scream because generally I find in sessions that I've been through before it's like it starts with the build up, like it brings you to be in your shit and then that's where the technique is happening and then it's like it's this calm come down and like the healing. And so yeah, it's like I it's always like right when I'm feeling it, like right when I'm like, oh, I really want to scream or like I really want to like punch the ground or something, but I don't want people to think I'm weird. And like that's part of the reason why I'm doing this breath work is like get over whatever other people are thinking, right? So yeah, I always like that. But I have done breath work virtually, just one-on-one work being guided. And yeah, there's something nice about like being in the comfort of your own home when no one else is home and you can just do some weird ass shit that no one
Yes,
else gets to see.
yes, yes. That's
Yeah.
that's the other. I'm like, I sometimes in the group setting, like I can't fully let go, but in private, it's like, no, if I gotta
Yeah.
do something weird, crawl around and gag, that's okay.
Yeah. Oh, Well, this was amazing. Thank you so much. I know I kind of threw you on the spot with the leading us through a session, so I really appreciate that. I think that listeners are going to really enjoy this session and just get a taste of breath work. It's not this yoga, like you said, like breathing through the nose and not to discredit yoga by any means. I think that all of these things and all of these things in combination with each other
Yes.
just can truly be transformational. So thank you, Cherae.
Thank you so much for having me, Rachel. Like, it was, and I didn't feel like you threw me on the spot.
Oh,
It was
good.
great. I really enjoyed diving.
Yeah, and that's like a testament to, it's like when you know somebody is a master of their craft, right? You get asked that last minute stuff to do. That's happened to me a few times on podcasts, and so it's like it's no sweat, like I do this all the time. So and I wanted to ask too, like if people are interested in following you or working with you, what's your social media? How do you prefer people find you? Yeah, tell us all the things.
Yes. So you can find me at cheraemabry.com. My website if you're interested in working with me, and my Instagram is at the Cherae or the Cherae.
Mhm.
And I'm right now I've been more active on my personal Facebook page. So Cherae Mabry on Facebook. It's open. You can friend me or just lurk. It's all good. And yes, and I do have a couple of online events coming up on Eventbrite. Well, the tickets are on Eventbrite. They're over Zoom. One on sexual healing, sexual trauma with pleasure, and the other is on the art of pompoir, learning how to manipulate vaginal muscles so that you can experience more pleasure, but also give your man, friend, boyfriend, husband a hand job with your vagina. So that's
Oh my
coming up.
God. Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. We are going to be friends, my friend. Oh,
Thank you.
yes. Thank you again so much for this conversation and for leading us through that session today. I can't wait for this to come out.
Awesome. I'm excited too. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you so much for listening to today's show. If you loved it, be sure to subscribe so that you never miss an episode. And if you really fucking loved it, make sure to tag me on social media at the Rachel Main. I'll see you next week.